Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So, around a year ago, just under a year ago, we had the Pink Panther came through the door.
Yes, the one and only.
AutoFlex, changed our lives forever.
And many
changed
others.
Someone's life forever.
Changed a bunch of lives forever.
And you know, we really didn't have much information when it came through the door. We had read what others had read. I think Golf WRX had their hands on it first.
Yes.
We got some samples. We were asked if we wanted to test it. We said, why not?
Why wouldn't we?
We're curious. This is what we do on Mondays. We test new product. And it really kind of was its own thing for the longest time.
Definitely.
Until recently.
A competitor has arrived.
A competitor has arrived on the scene, also out of Korea. The shaft name is Monstar. Not Monster.
Not to be confused with Monster.
No, Monstar with that A.
With a star, actually.
with a star. Not with an A or an E, a star. Monstar shafts. There are a lot of these companies, Matty, you know, especially in Korea, that we just don't have access to over here. North America. We obviously have the usual suspects that also are over there: Graphite Design, Fujikura, Mitsubishi, Aldila, Acra, all that sort of, all the ones that people are familiar with.
Right.
But there is a whole other world out there.
Apparently there is, yeah.
Yeah, a whole other world, and within that world, the Monstar shaft exists. So we're going to give it a run.
Yes.
We're going to give it a test. We've been given the spec sheet, very different from this type of spec sheet I'm normally used to reading.
A bit unusual, is it?
It's a little unusual. There's a lot more marketing sort of jargon in it. We're being told it's a double kick point shaft.
Okay.
So we've got a kind of higher kick point for accelerating force, and then a lower kick point for increasing angle of attack.
Oh, interesting.
Right,
okay.
so we're kind of got a soft middle and a soft tip section. Is
what it sounds like,
the way that reads to me.
Yeah.
You know, yes, we've saw shafts being softer in the middle to produce more energy. Project XLZ, load zone, right? For people who don't load it as much, that's basically what we can see there. And we obviously know that a shaft in more lead deflection, or that is bending more in that bottom section, can make the head rise upwards,
travel upwards
quicker. So we know that that's good for high launch, low spin. So, but we're going to call that kind of soft midsection, soft tip section.
In traditional terms, that's what it would be.
We've got a couple of different flexes here to try, but we're going to focus on the 67 gram X flex that they sent us over.
Okay.
Something that you would obviously play, something around that weight and around that flex.
Yes.
So we popped it into your driver for testing. It is very high quality material.
Yeah, so tell me about it. It's graphite construction, but there's titanium in it?
There's full length titanium, kind of call it rods, but it's in amongst the graphite weave.
Wow.
So there's titanium that runs the full length. So we're looking at sort of, again, back to the marketing sort of side of things, double the strength and 5 times the elasticity.
Okay.
You know, of our regular shaft.
Interesting.
I mean, looking through again that spec sheet, when I look at the CPMs, we can't call this another AutoFlex. It's not the same. If I look at the X Flex at roughly, you know, kind of 280 CPM cycles per minute.
Okay. It's pretty stiff.
Pretty stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very much a normal X Flex. So, you know, this guy would probably be down in the 210 CPM range. Much softer. So, you know, it's not by any means a soft shaft. It's not another AutoFlex.
Okay.
Right. I think that's the kind of point.
Fair enough.
We need to address. You know, there have been companies that have put titanium in the shafts in the past, and it's kind of not been done for a while, and you know, I guess it's kind of coming back.
Like all fashion, it's in a cycle.
It's cyclical.
And they probably never had the double kick point that this has, so that
there was definitely no double kick going on back then. No.
Oh, the Monstar is off to a pretty good start, though. It's not disappointing.
Straight out the gates.
Oh,
hit yourself a monster.
Hello, Monstar.
That was nice.
Hit that one pretty well.
Yep. A little quicker ball speed there, 74, 75.
Just pending here, 73.
Okay.
Yep, that's
trending
nice.
in the right direction. Oh, very, very good.
Producing some good strikes and numbers, that's for sure.
Yeah, how many kicks are you feeling in there? Is it just the one, or
you know
feeling
what?
two?
I'm just feeling the one for now. But maybe I have to get past a certain threshold, and I'll
Yeah.
feel both.
Yeah. You've got a nice little groove going with it.
Yeah, pretty good strike there too. I'm sensing something. AutoFlex I always found like the harder I swung, the straighter it went.
Yeah.
It's kind of starting out the same way.
Look at those.
Monstar strikes.
And what's probably interesting about this, Matty, is although AutoFlex was a lot of fun for us to test, and a lot of people went, why would you not play that? You're obviously hitting so good. You just wouldn't. I don't think you would have a problem playing something like
No, because this isn't crazy. Like it doesn't have anything really. You wouldn't pick up the next club in your bag and go, I have no feel for a club anymore.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Now, if you had a full set of AutoFlexes, top to bottom, maybe. But that's a different.
Very true.
That's a different animal and a different bank account.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit in the heel, but like it's going pretty straight. Yeah. Hello. I probably left the face open a shade, but that's awfully good. I wouldn't be upset with it. Get out there. Trundle. Yeah. Get out there.
Okay, so thoughts, feels?
It's definitely its own thing. It's not.
It doesn't feel like something. It doesn't feel like Ventus Blue or.
No, there's something. No, do I feel a double kick? No, but there is quite a bit of feel, I would say, through the shot.
Okay.
I kind of felt like it managed my strikes quite well, which was interesting considering I was trying to swing, kind of hard at it. I think out of 7 or 8 shots we're keeping, I kind of hit 1 left and 2 right that we didn't keep in the data. So I would say in terms of like the dispersion and number of shots, that was pretty good. It's hard to point to because it does feel very kind of traditional in the top section of the shaft. And just as you're swinging through, it does feel like there is quite a bit of kick. The only thing I would say is I didn't feel like I was getting like extra speed or anything out of it. I felt like maybe it helped me square the face and keep the face stable, but I didn't feel like all of a sudden I was getting extra speed out of it.
In terms of like just observing it, the strikes were very good. They were really, really good. The first 3 were literally right in there, then a couple straight into the heel, a fraction. Standard deviation was excellent, especially on spin. Spin and launch and spin really were really tight. This is as tight as you'll ever see.
Yeah, interesting. So the good ones really flew very similar, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an intriguing product. This seems to be, and maybe this will be a trend that we do end up testing, more of these products from, other sort of golf markets.
Because I think the engineering, the engineers themselves and like the ideas, they just seem to have different approaches to it, which is kind of interesting. Like I think the way that most shafts on the wall are designed, there's sort of a certain set of parameters they look for. Kind of seems like these ones have a little kind of stuff out of left field. They're willing to try different stuff and see what happens. Absolutely.
Now, here, the second we've got is the Double X.
Oh, even stiffer.
Yeah. Want to give that a try?
Sure, yeah. Ooh, felt good. I noticed that it felt good.
Noticeably handsome.
That felt good.
How good is that flight?
It's really good. Yeah, both of them I feel like the club comes back to square quite easily. A little low on the head.
Okay. So probably relatively quick, maybe just a hair on the spinny side?
Probably.
Some of the best driving I've seen from you in a while.
It is better. The harder I swing, it seems to help me. Get out there. Yes. Just seem to get a little more efficiency from the stiffer one.
Yep, so it's delivering a little less dynamic loft. I mean, all the things that you would probably say it should do if it was doing its job.
It's remarkable. We actually changed flexes and it did what the flex is supposed to do.
Shocker.
Have we died?
Yeah, a little less downward deflection. Another shocker.
Is this a science
It's
experiment?
good stuff. It's good stuff.
It is good. It's very interesting. Yeah.
We probably can address at this point the price tag is high.
Is it
Premium.
shocking?
Yeah, I think it's kind of AutoFlex territory.
Okay. So yes.
So we don't have a price list. I think when we were sent it was basically here's our AutoFlex price point comparable price
So
point.
you can expect to be around $1,000.
Canadian, yeah, probably 657 US.
Okay.
Again, we're throwing numbers out there, but I think that's about where you would expect to see it. So
Expensive.
it's expensive, Matty boy.
Very
It's probably
expensive.
why it hasn't gotten over to kind of these parts, because
there's just companies like that are making such great stuff, like Fuji and Mitsubishi and Acura, for $300 make stuff that I'm sure I could swing quite well with also.
and see similar results. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, so we couldn't go through this whole thing without bringing it back in.
It's the least we can do for an old friend.
Just reminiscing, 10 months on.
I can't believe it's been a year.
That's
it feels like longer, to be honest.
11 months. It does feel like a lot longer. 11
I would have
months
told you
ago.
2-3 years ago. No.
It's 11 months tomorrow. It just popped into my head. 11 months tomorrow since we done it. September 24th last year.
The mysterious AutoFlex.
The mysterious AutoFlex is back. This is the stiffest one, so obviously we want to try and somewhat keep it, in keeping with what we've just been doing. But immediately,
the noodling.
You want to give it the noodle, don't you?
You have to. I think it's part of the process, testing process.
That sounds hammered.
That's the AutoFlex we know and love.
Let's get some serious hang time.
Big bounce. Yeah, so far the numbers are pretty close. Launched that a bit higher, but otherwise. Maybe 77, felt good. 77. There is no replacement, no possible substitution for the mighty AutoFlex.
I mean, it's its own thing, isn't it?
Cannon. Gonna lose yards on that silly green bounce. 76, I didn't even hit that very well. Look at it come back.
I know.
I thought I blocked it. It's a good drive.
Okay. Carrier pigeon is what it's the just return home.
75, I think I put too much loft on that.
Yeah, I mean 75 with that amount of open face is
Close. A little heel maybe?
that's funny.
That's it. Good though. Get going. 78 maybe? 78. $79.
79.
The suspense was killing me.
Spinny, a slightly spinny 79. It's old AutoFlex, it still has a ball speed jump that the other one just does not.
No, it's crazy, isn't
But
it?
that's what we see with most other shafts. It's just we talk about double kicks and this, that, the other.
I know.
We're seeing some serious acceleration here.
Yeah,
From
this
a
thing
softer flex. Still very interesting. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? It's fun. So we're looking at, well, we actually don't know what we're looking at still with AutoFlex.
It remains mysterious.
It's still hidden technology. Different shaft though, from what we were talking about.
Holding it, like you can just give it one of these, you can give it one of these.
Yeah.
But I actually feel like I had better control of the club face than I did with that one.
Is that right?
Now, I had to hit a loopier shape, so that's a bit of a point off, I would say. It definitely gets more behind me, but in terms of it doing face to path consistently, like I hit a couple shots where I was like, oh no, I blocked it, and just started coming back.
Yeah.
Like you can't buy that. Well, you can buy that in store for $1,000, but you know what I mean? That's the magic.
That's the magic of the AutoFlex. Okay, so But the Monstar shaft, in terms of the kind of overall judgment on that, pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't dismiss it. Who knows whether it will come here and be available for testing, or we might be talking to people who are in Asia that can test it. I'd say give it a shot if you're willing to fork over the price. It is interesting. I would say, considering the XX and all those ratings and the titanium and stuff, it didn't feel crazy stiff. It felt very stable. But I would say it was kind of like if you had Ventus Black with a little bit of feel, which is like you were saying, it's like a Ventus Red.
That's what that's exactly my mind. Like when I look at Ventus Red on the Fuji chart, Ventus Red and Ventus Black, the handle on both are very, very stout. You know, one just gets progressively softer, and one just is very, very stiff the whole way down.
I mean, I think that's probably the closest comparison, which is a compliment, because Ventus Red is very nice.
Very nice. Good stuff. Okay, been a while since we've done a shaft test video. We don't get too many new shafts coming through. Through the door these days. There's not an awful lot going on.
We have to do the gold Acra shaft. I know people have been asking.
Yes, we have.
So maybe that'll be our next shaft test. Maybe next week we can do that.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. We will see you again soon.